Alright guys, so I've been waiting a while to do this video because I haven't really had the time. I've been busy with appointments and birthday parties and graduation parties and all this other stuff, but as I promised, I am going to do an unboxing slash review of, let's see here, this. And I will also be showing you guys how to do the upgrade for the RX if you get it. Newer RXs that you buy may already have the update on the mod if it's a newer version of the old mod. The update is already on it. But if you have an older one or you got one from somebody and it doesn't have the update on it, I will show you guys how to do it on the computer. Unfortunately, at this point, I think that I'm not sure, I might be getting it confused, but I think it's only available for Mac computers, or it was something else that I was doing with the mod that was only available for Mac. I believe it was changing the wallpaper for the Lassimo L1. But I'm going to show you guys regardless on how I did the upgrade. So let's go take a look at the mod. We will open the box and get started on this review. Alright guys, this is the box. Pretty simple. I got the white with the tail color, but I actually bought replacements for the front panel and for the battery door. I got it off of eBay, I believe. It was fairly inexpensive, but these were the pieces that I took off of the mod itself. It came in this little box, but I switched it to black and white. I used these batteries. I bought them specifically when I got the mod. I labeled them so that way they stay married and they get charged together, they get used together. I've never separated them. They've only been used in my RX since I've had it, which is pretty important for battery safety and, you know, quality of the battery life. But here goes the manual. It's fairly simple. It shows you the different parts of it, you know, the 510 connectors, it's spring loaded, fire button, you know, up and down for wattage, screen, vent for the batteries, the back door, and then just all different features. You can have it on stealth mode. It will shut the screen off when you fire it or whatever, so that way the light doesn't go off or on the screen. You can lock in the watts. You could also lock in the resistance if you're in temperature mode. You can switch directions of the screen. Yeah, it just gives you all the different little hints and information about using temperature mode and stuff like that. Different warnings and stuff and what they mean and how to fix them, which is awesome. There's a lot of protection on this mod, and then it goes through the same thing in French and I assume in other languages too. But that's what was in there, and this is the mod. And there's, at the bottom of this, there's like a little styrofoam cutout piece. There's a USB cord. You can plug it in to charge, but it's not recommended. It will fry out the board in your mod, and it will not evenly charge your batteries and can destroy the batteries as well. So I suggest using an external charger with like individual bays for each battery, so that way you know all of them being fully charged. This little thing was in here. Please be careful not to use batteries with torn casings, as it is a safety hazard, which you guys should already know, and I did a video on rewrapping your batteries. So this is the oh, forgot to put a piece back in. So antsy to do this one. Alright. So here we go. Put that aside. I could put that aside. So battery door, there's let me just take a look here. There's the 510, there's a little indent. I've had tanks and RDAs and stuff that were slightly bigger than this hole, and there was really no issue as long as the pin at the bottom of the actual like atomizer is long enough. It should still reach, even if there's a little gap. Usually it looks like it's resting on the top of this surface, even though it's not touching and fitting in the bottom. So you don't really notice that it's not going down all the way, and I haven't had any issues about that. But the very clicky buttons, the battery vents on the sides, you also have them at the bottom. You can see all of that. Got their little symbol thing going on there. J-bow, down, up buttons, USB port. Usually I suggest only using that for upgrade on the computer, to connect to the computer, but takes 3 batteries. It shows you, get the ribbon. I flip it all the way over. It shows the 2 back ones. The negative side is up, which would be the flat end. So you put in 1, again, negative, and then the last one is opposite. Negative is on the bottom, and one side is always going to have that little springy button. I suggest putting that end down first so you can push the springy button in. Right away the mod turns on when you put the batteries in. That's cool and everything. I know I accidentally put one of the batteries in the wrong direction once, and it still turned on, but when I went to go fire it up, it actually said check battery. So it will still turn on even if it's in one of the batteries is in the wrong direction, but it will not let you fire it. But this is the screen. Down watts, go up. I have the update, so it should go up to, I believe, 250. Yep, 250. Does not round robin. I've been having it on 85 since I got my new avocado that is not a clone. But to go into temperature mode, click 3 times. Or it's not going to let me because there's no atomizer. So I will go get my avocado and try and get into this thing for you. Alright, here's my avocado. This is authentic. I did have a clone and it was giving me short outs. So I actually did a trade with somebody that I know from Texas. This avocado, I have to say, is one of the best RTAs I've used. I did use the Theorem. It wasn't that great. I mean, the idea of it was nice. I still haven't used the notch coil. I actually gave the Theorem that I tried out to my girlfriend. But I've been running this at 85 watts and no dry hits, no nothing. I might have to refill it though. But regardless, reading at 0.11 watts. Here we go. We're in the menu. So watts, temperature nickel, temperature titanium, temperature stainless steel, and then there's memory. So if you use temperature, you can always set the memory for whatever. If you have a nickel coil and then you have a titanium coil or a stainless steel coil, you can set 3 different memories for temperature mode. I do watts because I have Kanthal wire. So that's that. If you want to lock in the watts so that way if you accidentally press that, it will go up or down. You press both of these buttons at the same time and it actually locks in the watts. It still fires. I looked through the booklet and tried figuring out myself. There is no locking the screen so that way it does not fire. So if I put it in my pocket or my backpack, which I rarely do, I'll put it in my front pocket. I just shut the mod off, which is 5 clicks. And it doesn't say anything when you shut it off. So I just do an extra click to make sure the screen doesn't turn back on, to make sure it's actually off. and then it's back on again. I actually did a little hack, so that way it changed the font and there's a little skull. I unfortunately cannot show you that, but battery's running a little low. But this is the mod. I will, I don't know, I guess I don't really have any cons to this mod. I haven't had any issues with it. Very sturdy. It's got a little weight to it. I like the design. As you know, everybody knows, it has that unique shape to it that just fits in your hand perfectly. I don't have many issues. I know after a little bit of using this to replace the door, does a little wiggle up and down. It doesn't come off like accidentally or too easy. It's just it wiggles up and down where there's a little rattle, but I've been using it a little bit and I've hit it and dropped it off of a couple of things, and pretty much no scratches at all from dropping. Fingerprints maybe a little bit on the screen, but other than that, I have not had any issues with either the atomizer or the mod itself. So I want to go and actually take a closer look at doing the upgrade for you guys. I'll go step by step. I already have it set up on the computer, so let's go head over to the computer. Hey, you can see me through the screen, so it might be a little bit of a distraction, but this is the website that you need to go to, I believe. You go to the Wismac website. There should be, let's see here. I know there is a download area. They actually have the theorem up here, which I don't think is that great, but hey, they might have updated it or something. Let's check out support, because I know I was on this website to get the information. Download manuals and software and all this other stuff. Okay. I'm trying to find this out, so bear with me. I am going to... Oh, software download. I guess it changed. The layout of the website has changed since I last did this. It is actually at the bottom here. So, over here, software upgrade. They have one for the Rx200S as well. We will be doing this one. So they have it for Windows and they also have it for Mac. I have Mac. It's already installed into my computer, but you would do what you do to download the software, pretty much. And then, alright, so when it's downloaded, I believe, where is it here? It should be right in here, I think. Yes. When it downloads, I believe there's a bunch of zip files. I'm not exactly sure, but there will be this icon right here. This is what you press. You get your mod. I have my cord connected. Plug it in. It's charging, but I don't know if it needs to really be on in order to do this. I'm not sure, but I have it on. Update. And if you go, I believe it's into this file, hex, you have to find the version that you're looking for. This is what's popping up inside that hex file. I believe this is the latest one, but that's not the one that I used for my mod. I'm not exactly sure if it's gonna work for yours, but I used this one, I believe. So if you open it, boom, it's very quick. All you have to do is click the file and the software is already updated. You don't have to do much to it. So it's actually very easy, it's very simple. You just have to create your little folder thing. Like this is my girlfriend's folder because she had the RX first. But that's pretty much how you would update it. You'd make a folder, and when you download the actual, this keeps popping up, it's driving me nuts. When, you know, you download the software, you make a folder, put it in there, and then you'll see that, app that says the Wismac on it. That's what's going to do the update. So when you press the update button, remember, go to hex, and it should be 3.0. I'm not sure, but you know what? I'm going to test it out and see what happens. Firmware updated completed. I did it on the 310. It does firmware. I don't believe it's doing, it does not do hardware. But that is how you would update it. So let's go back to my beautiful face and take a couple puffs of this beautiful mod here. So you will notice after you do your update, your screen is going to change. It is in, don't make this mistake. Always check after you do your update. It's going to change it to temperature mode, so press 3 times. Okay. There we go. So you go back to your wattage mode. Mine reset back to 19.9. So I'm going to go up to 85. It actually took my font away, so I'm going to have to fix that. But yeah, so let's go and vape this bad boy. Alright, so here's the mod. I'm going to have to update my stuff again. I deleted it, but I've had it like that since I first got it, so maybe I'll change it to something different. That I cannot expose that, and I cannot show that information to you, unfortunately. But this is my avocado, 85 watts, 0.11. It's perfect. I'm gonna go up to 90. I've seen a lot of people will actually have gone up past 100 watts, but I'm taking it slow. You have to have it wicked just right on the avocado. As you can see, my cotton is a little strange. It's hard to tell because there's little air bubbles inside, but some cotton is longer than the other. Always make sure you cut it off so that way it's halfway down the tank. Make sure it's fluffy and everything on the tips of the cotton that are going into the juice. Make sure it's got a decent fit around the coil when you're putting it through on the inside. Make sure the ends are fluffy. But let's try 90 watts. Get really good cloud production. Flavor is pretty good on here. It's nice. It's not hot. It's not too warm of a vape. Temperature of the vape is pretty good on 90 watts. Let me try 95. So we got 95. Still no dry hit. It's still not hot, not too warm of a vape. Doing pretty good. Let me try 100. I'm being ballsy now. I got it up on 100. Not bad. So yeah, that's the Rx200. Um, I may do forgot what watts I was gonna put it at. Alright, 85. That's where I keep it at. But I am going to charge these batteries because they're about to die. Always remember too, the avocado, even though the juice is at the bottom, the airflow is at the top, it can still leak if you have it tilted sideways through the air holes. I'm going to show you how, if I can hold the phone with something. Okay, so it's just like an RDA on the top, but if you look, the cotton is going through 4 holes that are at the bottom, and it's going into the bottom of the tank. If you tip it, that liquid is starting to will pour out of the holes and pool on the top, and eventually will drip out of the air hole. So don't make that mistake. Don't think you're safe just because the juice is on the bottom and the airflow is at the top. Because just like an RDA, if you tip it sideways and there's juice inside, it will spill. So just keep that in mind. Also, the drip tip is kind of like an acrylic. The way you would take it off is you screw it off. The heat from it, as you can see, it's a little warped because it's kind of close to the coils that are in here. So the heat kind of melted it a little bit. And it is a tad bigger than normal sized mouthpieces, 510 mouthpieces. It is slightly bigger if you need one, a replacement one. I'm sure there's plenty of places, plenty of people on eBay or websites that sell mouthpieces of different sizes. So if you do need to change it, you know you can. But this is Wicked Vapor, and enjoy your RX if you just got one.